What did you think would happen?
For a brief moment, the leaders of Heathmoor ceased their quarrel.
Leaders who have lost the will to fight.
It only takes a spark
to start a rebellion.
To make things right.
To shepherd the strong, punish the unworthy.
Don't let some mad tyrants play God with your lives.
To bear the mask of war.
The true meaning of courage.
All of you, my wolves.
Hello everybody, Raven Knight here, and I am excited. Today, For Honor developers and their Warriors Den released information about Year 5 Season 1 coming next week, and I am so excited. I had wanted to release the Nobushi Heroes in History video today, but some things got in the way, so that's going to have to wait a little longer. But I don't mind, because I can't wait to talk to you about my thoughts. After watching the full live stream and hearing everything they had to say, a lot I want to get into, so let's not waste any time. Let's dive right in. So first of all, I want to start out with a disappointment. It's a slight disappointment. If you saw my previous video, I had a lot of theories about what may be coming with the Covenant thing. They said it's Year of the Covenant, and they were talking about all these little factions and groups, organizations. But no, apparently, from the way Elise and the rest of the developers phrased it, the Covenants are Chimera and Horkos. And I'm not going to lie, I'm a little disappointed about that. I was kind of hoping that this year would focus more on individual groups within Horkos and Chimera. If Horkos and Chimera got big enough, wouldn't there be small groups or cults or brotherhoods or fraternities or stuff like that within the organization? I mean, one of the things that I loved is, as I studied Warhammer 40k, I learned about how some of the Traitor Legions, the Traitor Space Marines, got started because they formed little fraternities and brotherhoods within their legion that secretly worshipped chaos gods without them realizing it. Wouldn't that be so interesting if we had something similar here? Like, you had an organization within Chimera that was solely devoted to something not quite what Griffin or the other Chimera leaders would agree with, and that ended up leading them to join Horkos later. That'd be an interesting twist, right? But no, that's not what it's about. At least for this season, it's just about Horkos and Chimera. And I was talking about earlier how the hurt or deer, the stag, and the wolf that we saw might be referencing the two new heroes we're going to get. No, they're just referencing Horkos and Chimera again. I'm not gonna lie, that's just a little disappointing. I was hoping for a little bit more creativity on that side. But with that said, if I have anything good to say about that, it is the art and music direction for this season is amazing. I'm actually playing it in the background right now. It is phenomenal. I love this music. It sounds so good. I love this art. It looks so spectacular. People keep looking and finding Dabity's helmet and different helms and wondering, ooh, is Dabity making a comeback? Or, oh, is this making a comeback? Which shows me that people, even the ones who are really pissy about the way For Honor goes, are still enjoying this. They're still having fun. Before I get further into my thoughts, let me go ahead and mention the 4 new executions. The 4 new executions that have come out. They're referencing movie moments, as I recall. 2 of them look like Doctor Strange or Marvel related executions. Like, one is opening a portal like Doctor Strange and kicking the person through it. Another is doing a Shaolin-style punch into someone's chest and knocking their soul out, which is personally my favorite. I'm giving that to Shaolin, hands down. Maybe even Warden, just for the fun of it. Then you also have one that's referencing Monty Python and the Holy Grail, where you pull out the killer rabbit and it attacks the person, just like in the movie. And yes, I have already given that execution to Nibbles, because, why wouldn't I? That is totally a Nibbles shaman execution, right? If Nibbles had to have a pet, it had to be the killer rabbit, right? And then the other one, I don't know what it's referencing. At first I thought it was another Monty Python one, the bring out your dead scene with the bell. But people are telling me that it's from something else. I don't recognize it, but hey, it's still kind of cool with a dude walking around with a bell, ringing it while beating the crap out of the dude. It's kind of meme-worthy. So yeah, not bad. These are some interesting executions, and I won't lie, yes, I do want them to go back to unique executions for each hero. But something that I thought about today as I was looking through these executions is, isn't it kind of interesting that we can look at these executions and kind of talk about, this fits this hero more, or this fits this character a bit more, or this fits, and I think that's fun, this idea of, everyone has access to this execution, but does it fit this character, or does it fit that character? I think that's still entertaining, but I won't deny, I want them to come back to releasing individual executions again. So trust me, if you're one of those people who wants individual, unique executions again, I'm right there with you. I want them back too. But for what they are, these 4 executions are actually pretty good. I like them. They're funny for the most part. The only one I'm not a big fan of is the portal one. Kind of weak sauce. If you're gonna do it, at least instead of just kicking him, maybe he bops him or Hadoukens him in, something like that. Go full anime, Kamehameha him, something like that. And we'll get into more and stuff like that in a minute, but let's keep going. Okay, so on to what we know about the new year and new season. So the first season is called Asunder, and Elise said that it's called Asunder because the world of For Honor has been torn asunder. Asunder basically means to split apart or to break apart. And Elise, I'm going to be honest, I already thought that the world of For Honor was torn asunder because of the Knights, Vikings, and Samurai fighting. I guess in this case you mean torn in two between the Horkos and Chimera. And again, I'm disappointed that you're not creating more covenants and more inside factions, but hey, you know what? Take what you can get. And honestly, the deer and wolf thing are cool. I think they look cool. The art looks cool, so I'm not complaining about that. I just wanted a bit more than that. So on to the lore so that they're talking about. So apparently this is all taking place after the Battle of the Eclipse, which is the first great battle of the Civil War. And the results of that battle, well, they won't tell us. They said that we just have to draw our own conclusions and they will drop clues along the way. I have my conclusion, because they dropped a few too many good clues. For one thing, the very first seasonal event, the very first event of the season is going to drop with the first week, the Masquerade of Horkos, the Horkos Masquerade, which is this celebratory battle, in a sense. And I'll get into that in a minute when I talk about the Horkos Masquerade event. But it's pretty much praising Horkos. And then there's also the fact that in the new faction map, the new war map, it shows that the Viking stronghold in Valkenheim is gone and replaced with Astria and her Horkos stronghold. So even if they didn't fully win the battle decisively, Horkos took Valkenheim. Valkenheim is now in the control of Horkos. So I'm going to go ahead and say, I think Horkos got the upper hand in that battle. That's my guess. Because right now, the Chimera Alliance doesn't seem to have any territory that is definitively their own. Horkos does, so I'm going to put it in the hands of Horkos that they want. And now Horkos is rallying more troops. And that's kind of what they said this season was going to be about. This season is meant to explore how these two covenants function, how they recruit people, what their ideals are, what their goals are, that kind of thing. And again, I'm going to say another disappointment. I don't like this binary they're setting. They clearly said it. They said it clearly. Those who join Horkos are people who want to uphold Apollyon's legacy and kill the weak, consume the weak, rule tyrannically. They want to be overlords and tyrants and pure evil. Those who join Chimera want unity, want to uphold the ideals of the Lord Warden from the original story mode. They want to unite everybody, fairness and equalness. Look, there's nothing wrong with that, except it's just good versus evil again. And I really wanted there to be a binary. I didn't want there to be a binary. I wanted some gray area. I wanted, like in my video about whether or not Horkos is evil, I wanted Horkos to explain their ideology a little bit more. They're not just evil. They have an actual legit reason. They have real drawn out reasons as to what they want to do long term if they win. What do they really want? Do they really just want tyranny, or is there a stepping stone? Are there pieces and parts to their plan? Is there a reason they want that? And then Chimera. What if it wasn't just, we want unity and peace for everyone? What if there was, individual inner fighting, which is why I wanted there to be inner covenants, like inner groups within the organization who may want their own ends, I thought that they could do a bit better than what they did. But again, for what it is, it's not bad. It's just not what I was expecting. So, leaving that aside, so with the Horkos Masquerade, it's showing how Horkos recruits people, and they say what they do is, one of the ways that you can become an initiate is you are put into a field of battle and you have to fight other warriors to prove your worth, and the survivors get to join the Order of Horkos. So they're demonstrating this in what they call the Horkos Masquerade, where it's basically Carousel of Death. It's a Carousel of Death game mode, and in this Carousel of Death game mode, it's the same rules. Your team wins by killing all the other players at the same time. But the added addition is, one, it all takes place in the pit, the Viking pit, and two, there's going to be a commander or guardian in the middle who has fire damage. And if your team can kill that commander, your team gains access to the fire damage for a limited period of time, which gives you an edge. That's a creative idea. I actually like that. I think that'll be fun. Carousel of Death is a very popular. It's fun. I think it's a good idea. So, props. I like that idea. I think it'll be cool. They also revealed that during this event period, there's going to be new minion looks, where knight minions are dressed in what look like jester outfits. The Vikings are going to be in shamanistic outfits with skull masks. And the samurai are going to be in oni get-ups, entertaining but frightening visages, like being afraid of clowns. And that seems to be what this is all about. Jesters, clowns, they've got jester emotes and jester effects going on. They have an execution where you control someone with like a puppetry or like dark magic puppetry and then rip their arms off. It's a little creepy, I'm not going to lie, but still really cool. I like that idea. It shows creativity. So there's good stuff there. I'm very interested to see what they do. If there's one thing that I'm not a big fan of, it's just I'm not a big fan of the way the weapons look. Speaking of which, new weapon skins for this event and new weapons coming with the new season, which all look cool. I'll get to that in a minute. And yeah, I think that's cool. No new armor yet. They said that they'll release more armor variants as the season goes on, possibly by mid-season, which, yeah, I can wait. That's fine. I can be patient. So we'll see what that has. So we'll see where that comes from. So yeah, really cool stuff. Really cool creative stuff for this first event. They also revealed Forge rework. They're remaking Forge. And I don't remember every single detail about the Forge rework, but from the looks of what they did, it looks good. It looks more detailed. If there are two Dominion maps that I can't stand, it's the Forge and then that Samurai Bridge one. I can't stand those two. They're my least favorite. Forge especially, because all Forge does is it pigeonholes you into a single line of fighting. You are forced to run either down the lane into a zone and fight in the zone, or forced to go to zone B and fight among minions. There is no in between. I like this because now they've opened it up a little bit. They've made it more of a challenge to get from place to place. They've limited visibility, and they've also made it so that you can find different ways to get to different locations. It looks more complete. Forge looks like it's going to be a lot more fun to play. Now, I'd be lying if I didn't admit that I'd like them to make more maps, but since they're aiming for competitiveness in this game, they're aiming to make it more competitive because that's what everyone begs for. Trust me, I think that's the thing people beg for the most. We want For Honor to be a competitive game mode. Well, yeah, and if you want to do that, that's fine, but don't ask for new content, ask for updated content, If you want competitive Dominion or competitive heroes, then instead of releasing new heroes and new maps, they're going to be releasing updates to heroes. And updates to maps, more so than they do release new heroes. That's something else that I find so funny. People either complain, stop releasing new heroes and update the current heroes. Or people say, we're not getting enough heroes this season or this year. Why did we go from getting 4 heroes to 2 heroes? Don't they care? But then in the same vein, if they said, okay, here are 4 new heroes. You're not updating the current heroes. You can't win. And that's why I don't say any of those things. I always say, let's be happy with what we get. Because people have been complaining that they want For Honor to be competitive. Well, if you want a competitive game, that means fewer new things and more updated things. But if you want For Honor to be a content-based game, then that means more new things, less updated things. So you gotta pick something. Speaking of reworks, Warden rework is coming. Warden rework, and I like the Warden rework. I really, really like the Warden rework. He's going to have an unblockable after his second unblockable heavy as his second heavy, no matter which direction it comes from. And they've gotten rid of his back dodge into shoulder bash and replaced it with a shoulder bash after any finishing attack, including a dash forward heavy, which is going to be sweet. I can't wait to play Warden and feel that. It's going to be great, and I know that a lot of Warden mains are going to be pretty happy. He's lost his blood, thick blood feat, which they said didn't really work with the way they've been trying to fix Peacekeeper and Nobushi. They said, we're trying to make Peacekeeper and Nobushi more viable, but we have this one hero who cancels out their viability. On the one hand, yes, I agree with that. That's a good idea to get rid of that. But on the other hand, you have Shugoki and Aramusha who literally have a feat that makes them unable to be knocked over. Doesn't that go against Centurion and Jormungandr? You know, the characters who specialize in knocking their opponent on the ground so they can punish it? Why don't you get rid of that too? But I digress. So instead of having the thick blood perk, they're replacing it with a perk that's passive that allows Warden to regain health on activating Revenge, which is going to drive people crazy, okay? That's going to be great, because if there's one thing people love to do, it's gank. Get all up in a group of 4 and just gank. And if that Warden can hold on for just the time it takes to get a Revenge, he can activate it and then get some health back. I love that. I think that's a great idea. And I know that some people are going to go, that's a terrible idea. It's just making people want to just spam Revenge. Well, then don't gank. Because Revenge only builds up during ganks. It only builds up when more than one person are attacking the same character. Yeah, I never thought about that. You don't want them to have access to that Revenge ability? Don't gank. Oops, do you rely on ganking to win? Sorry. Learn another way. They also revealed that other characters will be getting reworks, including, I don't remember all of them, but Berserker, Sanhu, Shugoki. They're working with Shugoki again, which is going to be great. Gladiator. I think they said Aramusha would be getting some work. I don't remember. Those are just the ones I remember off that. Was Highlander among them? I don't remember all of them, but those are some others that are going to get reworked. They said that there's going to be a lot more testing grounds this season. There's going to be a lot more warrior dens this season. I think that they're really trying to push for audience feedback right now, which is going to be good. I think that's a good idea. So great stuff there. That is excellent. I think that's all really, really good stuff. They also said that later on in the season, we would get another seasonal event more focused on Chimera probably, which is a good idea. I think it's good to see. We're starting off seeing where Horkos is right now. Later, we're going to see where Chimera is. That's a good idea. Now, the big question that people are having now is, what about the 2 new heroes? Are they going to be Vikings or Samurai? Well, earlier when I looked at the deer and the wolf, I assumed that the deer and the wolf symbolize the new heroes. I don't think that anymore. So I have no idea of telling. But if I had to guess, this is a guess, okay? A theory. I think it's going to be 2 Viking heroes, and hear me out why I say that. We just had it where Horkos has taken over Valkenheim. I think you're going to get 2 Viking heroes out of that. You're going to get one that is totally loyal to Horkos. They're like, we support Horkos and everything they do. We are the dark, edgy Viking hero that's coming to support Horkos. But then you're going to have another Viking hero who is against Horkos and wants to support Chimera and is trying to lead a rebellion to get them out of Valkenheim. Kind of like what we saw with Warmonger and Griffin. A knight who is evil and dark and wants to bring war, and then another knight who wants to redeem himself and save people. I think it's going to be the same thing here. A Viking who is totally for Horkos and wants to help them do their thing, and another who wants to restore Valkenheim to what it was. That's just a theory. Another way it could go is possibly it's going to start with a Viking who is like that, who wants to support Horkos, but then you may have a samurai later on in the year who wants to help, who wants to stop what they're doing. You know, I don't know entirely, but we do know that they aren't going to be knights. So people complaining, we're tired of knight heroes, be happy. There are no more knight heroes for a while, right? Okay, but yes, that's my theory on the new heroes. Now, people have been asking me, what kind of weapons will they have? I have no idea. I have thoughts, but I don't want to jump the gun too early. I want to take my time and really think it out and really see what they have to offer. So guys, I also saw that they're having some new emotes that involve music, and they have a bagpipe one. If you think that I am not going to get that for Highlander, you really own some shit, okay? So I'm definitely going to be doing that. Those look really cool. They look really interesting. They also revealed that there's going to be some new, there's going to be a new execution, which looks pretty cool. There's going to be a new illustrious outfit. They've got a lot of really cool ideas coming, guys. I'm really impressed. So, final thoughts on the reveal. On the negative side, I'll start with the negatives. I'm disappointed that they're going for this binary of Horkos versus Chimera, good versus evil. I wanted it to be more in depth. I wanted it to be a little bit more. I wanted to be more us drawing our own conclusions and our own interpretations. It would have made it more easy it would have made it more difficult for me to pick a side. I wanted to really see the gray area in this, because there's always a gray area in war. You need to look at it from both sides. The world isn't so easily divided into this person good, this person evil. You know, sometimes you really need to understand where the other person's coming from. And I'd really like if they explore the ideologies of Horkos and Chimera. I really want to see those explored, guys, and maybe they will later in the year, but right now they're not. I really want to see that explored. I really want to see that. Other negative, I'm disappointed there are no new unique executions this season, but hey, maybe later we'll get some. I don't know. One thing that I think is interesting is with these new weapons that are coming out in the Battle Pass, they're kind of animal themed. They said that they've assigned an animal or a spirit animal to each individual hero. That may be stuff that could bring some uniqueness back. That could be some more uniqueness to bring back. So I don't know. There could be some stuff there. I'm very interested. If not, oh well, but I think that's a potential idea. And then another thing, maybe it's just me. This is personal preference. I'm not a big fan of the jester thing. Maybe it's because I don't like clowns very much. I'm not a big clown guy, but not a big fan of the whole jester thing for the Horkos Masquerade. That's just me. I'm probably not going to invest any steel or energy into getting the Horkos Masquerade effects or emotes or gear. Maybe I'll get that puppet one, that marionette execution. That looks pretty sick. But other than that, probably not going to get into the other stuff. It just doesn't impress me. It's not my thing. I'm not as big a fan of it. But the other stuff, all the positives, oh my gosh, the Forge rework looks great. Warden's rework looks great. I can't wait to see the testing grounds to see what they're going to do with these other heroes. They look great. I really like that they're bringing in 2 new heroes this year, and they haven't revealed too much, so I can still be questioning stuff. I like that they're proceeding with the story. I said it in a previous video, I'll say it again. I think it's cool that they are continuing with the story through the game. And what I mean by that is each part of the game, each game mode, more the content, all that stuff still ties into the story as it's being told, which I think is good. I think that's excellent. I'm glad that they're carrying on the Horkos and Chimera war. I just wish that they'd go more in depth into it. I wish that instead of just giving us the surface level of Horkos bad and Chimera good, I wish that they took it to another extreme. I wish that they dove into it and told us about the internal struggles between the factions. What about if you had 2 groups in Horkos, right? One group totally worshipped Apollyon. They thought Apollyon was a goddess and they want to worship her and the ground she walks on. And you could call them the Church of Apollyon. But then you have another who say, no. We don't worship Apollyon. We don't worship Apollyon. In fact, Apollyon's ideals weren't perfect. She missed. She failed. She didn't get what she wanted. No, we need to worship the warmongers and worship what they are because they've got the right idea. So you have people who worship Apollyon and those who worship Astria, and there's kind of an inner struggle between the two. I think that'd be fascinating. I think that'd be really interesting. Or what if you had, remember how what if the Black Priors try to make a comeback? The Black Priors try to restore their order, but they don't know who to side with, so they're kind of having an internal struggle themselves to decide, do we join Chimera or do we join Horkos? There's possibilities here, man. There's possibilities. And I want to see them explore them. I want to see For Honor explore them. Will they? I don't know. But my thought is, I'm even more pumped than ever for Year 5, Season 1, for Asunder. I am so excited to see where this goes. And I'll also tell you a little bit of a theory that I have before I go. Quick little theory. People were talking about how they wanted the faction map to be updated so that it included the Wulen. Maybe they deliberately kept from doing that just so that they could get to this point. And maybe we're going to see the faction map transform throughout the course of this year so that it's Horkos versus Chimera. You have one side that's Horkos, the other side Chimera. That's just a thought. Or, another thought. What if Horkos took over Valkenheim? Griffin took over the Ashfeld. And maybe another group, another covenant shows up to take over the Mire. I'm not sure. I could be totally wrong on that. But that's the beauty of this. I'm getting to speculate and have some fun. I don't want everything explained to me. I want to speculate and have some fun. But guys, totally excited for this. I know I went on for almost 30 minutes now. I'm sorry about that. Let me know what you think in the comment section. What are you excited about this next season, or are you not excited about it? What do you think they should have done? What do you wish that they would do? What do you want to see out of this season and or year? Please drop in the comments below. Smash that like button if you enjoyed the video. Please smash the like button. I love seeing that y'all like this. Please let me know if you've enjoyed this video so far and the stuff on my channel. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. If you're interested in supporting me, please check out the Teespring link in the description below. It will help me out just from you taking a look. I'd really appreciate your support because I'm going through a move soon, and I'd really appreciate any support you can send my way. Other than that, guys, I will see you on the battlefield. This is the Raven Knight, and I'm out.